Okay, good morning class. So at this point we're looking at paper 2 and you guys have got your papers back. So again, just let me know if you had any issues and I'll give you the mark if you are entitled to it. Okay, so it was a 1.5 hour paper for 75 marks, namely the algebra paper. Alright, so in question 1.1.1 again we are asked to simplify. What's the cube root of 1? 1, the square root of 36 is 6, and 1 times 6 is 6. Okay. Again, you don't have to write this down. I will send you the document to the group. Okay. Again, if you have a problem, just circle the question in pencil, and then I will have a look at it at the end. Okay. If you look at 1.1.2, we got 9 plus 2 all squared. What we need to do first is we need to add inside the bracket, gives you 11 squared, which is 121. Okay. In 1.1.3, we have the cube root of 125. Now the cube root of 125 can be written as the cube root, that's 0,125, sorry. So it's going to be 125 over 1,000. If you knew that the cube root of 125 is 0.5, you could have gone straight into that, okay? Plus that 0,2 all squared is 4, so it's 0,04, as we know you must have 2 decimal places there. Plus, we change that to improper fraction, it's going to give you 16 plus 9 is 25 over 16. The cube root of 125 is 5 over the cube root of 1,000, of course, is 10. Plus 0,04 plus the square root of 25, of course, is 5, the square root of 16 is 4. One of two things I can do, I can either change it to fractions, or I can change it to decimal. So that's going to be 0,5 plus 0,04 plus that is going to be 0, no, it's going to be 1.25. So it's 1,25. Okay. And if I add that, it's going to give you 9, 7, 1,7. Okay. If you had written it in fraction form, it would be 179 over 100. Okay. As the question did not specify or stipulate in which form it must be given, so either or would be accepted. Okay. People, I'm surprising many of you didn't get this right. I've told you before. What is the square root of 4? 2. And 2 squared is 4. Okay, so the square root is the reverse of the square. You see that? The square root is the reverse of the square. So the square root of 324 squared, the square and square root cancels, give you 320. That's all you need to do. Okay. Let's carry on. In 1.5, many of you messed up this question as well. It's actually sad to see you guys messed up this question. So, of course, at this point, you guys wouldn't allow kids a calculator. So, what we need to do is we need to now look at 42. So, I break this up into products of its prime factors. Or I can say, okay, 42 goes into, that's 21, 3 goes into a 7, and 7 goes into the 1s. So 42 is going to be 2 times 3 times 7. 6 is 2 times 3, and 75, 175 is going to be 5, goes into 17, 3, and carry 2, so it's 5. 5, 7, 7, 1. So, for 175 is going to be 5 squared times 7. So what I note now is that I say, hang on, I got 2 2's. So that can be written as the square root of 2 squared. There are 2 3's. So that's going to be 3 squared. There are 2 7's. 7 squared times 5 squared. So what is the square root of 2 squared? What is the square root of 2 squared? That is 4, and what's the square root of 4? 2. What is 3 squared? 9. Square root of 9? 3. What's the square root of 7 squared? 7. Square root of square root of 5 squared? 5. Or 5 squared is 25 and the square root thereof is 5. You guys understand? So 2 times 3 is 6, times 2 is 42. 6 times 7 is 42. And 42 times 5 is 210. Okay, that is worth the 5 marks. 4 marks. Okay. Express 1980 as products of its prime factors. So that's going to give you 1980. So 2 goes into here. 18 is 9 carry 1. 18 is 90. 2 goes into here. 4. 9. 5. No? 3 goes. 1. 6, 5. 3 go again. Yes? How many times? 5. 5. 5 goes. 11. 11 goes. So 1980 or 1980 can be written as 2 squared as a 2 2's. There are 2 3's. There's a 5 and there's an 11. Okay. Given in question 2.1, use the expression below and answer the questions that follows. We are told that you got 2t minus 5t squared plus 7t5 minus 3 minus 4t to the exponent 4. Okay. So the question says write down the constant term. Now the constant term is a term without the variable. Not the constants, the constant term, the whole term. So the term, as we know, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms. Okay. So the constant term is a term that has no variable, which is negative 3. People remember that the negative is part of the term. If you had written 3, you would have gotten the sum wrong. What's the coefficient of the second term? The first term, the second term. The coefficient is the number in front, of course, which is negative 5. What is the degree of the expression? The degree is the highest exponent on x. And as you can, on t, sorry, in your variable, so it's 5, so it's the 5th degree. Okay, 5th degree or 5th degree. Rewrite the expression in descending powers of x. People, what is descending? Biggest to smallest. The powers of x, of t, sorry, is the biggest exponent or indice. So that's going to give you 7t5 minus 4t. Minus 4t to the exponent 4 minus 5t squared plus 2t minus 3. Is that correct? Okay, just pause it. Alright, we're back. So now the next question says, was that it? Wasn't it 2.1.5 here? No. The next question says, if x is equal to, this was a very poorly answered question. I was surprised. If x is equal to minus 2, y is equal to 3, find the value of the following expression showing all steps of working. So people, if x is minus 2, whenever I see an x goes minus 2. So in the numerator says that x, so it's minus 2 over y minus, sorry, y is 3. So it's going to be 3 minus. Now that minus is that minus there. Not so. But the x is negative 2. Many left out this negative there. Okay. Or the first negative. So it's minus 2 over 3. Negative times negative is positive 2. And that will give you negative 2 over 5. Okay. Many of you got negative 2 over 1 there. Which is the negative 2. Just pull this up here. So again, we just pull this out. 2.2, again, x is negative 2. So open a bracket, negative 2 to the exponent. What is y? 3 minus 1. You will understand. Therefore, no? Plus y is 3 to the, you see this negative here, is that negative there? And x is negative 2. Close bracket. X is negative 2 plus 4. That's what it should look like. Let's just tidy up a bit. We're going to add the spot here. Okay, multiply out and add it. So it's going to be negative 2 into 2 plus 3. Negative times negative is positive 2. Or just 2. Okay. And negative 2 plus 4 is 2. So negative 2 all squared is negative 2 times negative 2, which is positive 4. Plus 3 squared is 9 squared. 3 plus 4 is 13 squared, which is 160. Who got that sum right? I think 2 people in the whole grade got it. 2 or 3. Nobody in this class. Jesus. You know, it's 3 people of a different from the other 3 classes. No? So it's fine. Hafsa, my girl. Sleeping Beauty, you think you must sleep this time of the day? Oh, you're making like you sleep. Nice, I like it. People, 3 to 2.3. It says subtract 5c minus 3a minus b from minus 4a minus 3b plus c. So what do we do? Whatever follows from you right first. So whatever follows from you right first. So it's negative 4a minus 3b plus c minus open brackets 5c minus 3a minus 4. Some of you wrote negative 4a minus 3b plus c first, but you didn't put the bracket in. Why do you need a bracket in? Because there's more than one term following a negative sign. So let's get rid of the brackets. Okay. So that now gives us negative 4a minus 3b plus c. Negative times positive is negative 5c plus 3a plus b. Again, we're going to look for like terms. We underline or group our like terms there. So negative 4a plus 3a is going to be negative a. Minus 3b plus b is negative 2b. And c minus 5c is minus 4c. Okay. Let's carry on. Question 3. 3.1. We are told to write an algebraic expression for the following. The sum of, what does sum mean? We must add the sum of x and a is x plus. The difference between y and z is going to be y. The difference between y and 7 is y minus 7. And then we have got the z for the next sum. The quotient is to divide the quotient of x 10 and z. It's going to be 10 over z. Okay. Any confusion there? No? Right. 3.4. The cube root of b. The cube root of b. C raised to the exponent 4. Multiply the difference. So you must take the difference. d minus 7. You must multiply it by 3. And then increased by e. Okay? Or it could be written as the 3 can be written in front. Is 3 into d minus 7 plus e. I didn't penalize me, I didn't write it like it. The next one. 3.1.7. An athlete runs F kilometers on Monday. On Tuesday, runs twice as far plus 3 kilometers. So Tuesday is going to be twice as far. So it's F times 2 plus 3. So this can be written as that or 2F plus 3. So this is your the distance he travels on, he runs on a Tuesday. Okay. Then he says, what is the total distance that he runs on Monday and Tuesday? So we covers F kilometers on Monday. So I must add Monday and Tuesday. So it's F plus Tuesday, which is 2F plus 3. Of course, there's like terms here. What is F plus 2F? 3F. So it's 3F plus 3F. Okay. Rewrite the algebraic expression x plus 5 over 2 plus 3 as a flow diagram. So to write the flow diagram, you start with x with the variable. What happens to x first? You're adding 5. So it's plus 5 and then divided by 2, plus 5 divided by 2, and then we're adding. Here's your flow diagram. 3.3. How many terms are there in each expression? People, what separates terms? Positive and negative signs. Okay, so how many terms are here? There are 3 terms. Okay, here's 1, 2, 3 terms. That's one. The last one is 2 terms. Okay. See, any confusion here? Again, what separates terms is positive and negative signs. People, let's look at question 4. The question 4 says simplify. Now moving to first. No. Okay, so again we're going to look for like terms. So it's 4a minus a, it's 3a. Minus 3b minus 2b is minus 5b. Okay, remember I instructed you, advised you to use a number line. Many of you wrote negative b then. Eh? Let's look at the next one. People, one of 2 ways of doing the sum here. I can either write it out twice, or if you know the rule, you apply the rule. Okay. So negative to any even exponent will be positive. 3 squared, of course, is 9c. There's a 1 there. 1 times 2 is 2. D cubed times 2 is going to be, or d cubed raised to the power 2 is d to the 6. And e2 times 2 is 4. Or you could have written it as negative 3c d cubed e squared times negative 3c d cubed e squared. Negative times negative, of course, is positive. 3 times 3 is 9. C times c is where d cubed times d cubed is d6. And e to the 4, which is the same thing. Either or, it should have full 3 marks. Okay. The next one, people, many of the scripts are marked. You guys have added that bracket. Why can't we add those 3 terms inside the bracket? Unlike terms. And we get rid of the bracket by multiplying out. So e squared, 3e squared times negative e squared is negative, is positive, of course. 3 times 1 is 3, e to the 4. And positive times negative is negative, 3 times 5 is 15, each squared times e is e cubed. 3e squared times positive 1 is positive 3e squared. Some multiply the first 2 and the last one they just write plus 1. Okay? Remember that 3e squared, the monomial outside the bracket, must be distributed throughout the bracket. Okay? People, 4.4. Let's going to make this a bit bigger. 4.4, what is positive divided by negative? Negative. 3 going to 3 once, 3 going to 6 twice. Is F4 minus 1 is F3. And where's the more G's, on top or at the bottom? At the bottom. So it's going to be G, 3 minus 2 is 1. I don't need that 1 there. That suffices. Okay. Will you guys understand? 4.5. What's negative times positive? What's negative times positive? Negative 3 times 4 is 12. H times h squared, h cubed. J squared times j4, j6. K square cube times K, so they give you K. Okay. 4.6. So what do we have to do first? We have to get rid of the brackets here. People, is a positive here, so there's nothing keeping that bracket there in. Not so I can just drop that bracket. So it's L plus 2M. Negative times negative is positive L. Or negative times positive is negative 2M. What is L plus L? 2L. 2M minus 2M cancels. So the answer is just 2L. Okay. Let's look at 4.7. Question 4.7, I'm going to multiply the numerator first. So positive times negative is negative. 3 times 4 of course is 12. N squared times n cubed is n to the exponent 5 over 6n. What's positive divided by negative? Negative. 6 going to 6, 1, 6 going to 12. Twice. There's a 1 there of course. So it's going to be n. 5 minus 1 is 4. Okay, you can put it over 1 and simplify thereafter, but not needed there. Okay. Let's look at the next one. 4.8. So it's negative 2 cubed. So negative to any exponent, negative to an odd exponent will always be negative. 2 cubed is 8. Must 2 times 2 times 2. Plus. Negative to an even exponent will be positive. 1 to the exponent 10 is 1. Not 10, 1. Many wrote 10. Okay. So it's negative 8. Why? Because it's 1 times 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 1. Okay, these 10 ones we multiply. Positive times positive is positive 1, and negative 8 plus 1 is negative 7. Okay. 4.9. The cube root of a negative number will always be negative. The cube root of 27, a number times a number times a number is 27. What is the number? 3, p. And 3 divided by 3. Whatever the root is, you divide that exponent by. So it's negative 3p to the exponent 1, which is just negative 3p. Next one, there's one of two ways of doing the sum. You could have simplified your q first. You will simplify the q first, your negative q. Then you would have gotten 4 into 3q minus 6, which is then 12q minus positive 20, minus 24. Otherwise, which most of you guys did anyway, you multiply that out first. So it's negative 12 q squared. Negative 4q times negative 6 is positive 24q divided by negative q. Now you put each one of its own. So negative 12q squared over negative q plus 24q over negative q. Negative divided by negative is of course positive. That q cancel one of those two, leaves you with 12q. Negative divided by positive is negative. Q's cancel 24. Okay. Correct? Any confusion there? No? The next one is 4.11. That's the last of question 2. Question 4, sorry. How many terms are here, people? 3. Let's insert out the terms first. R times S is R is negative. 2R times 2S is 4RS. And 3R times 3S is 9RS. So now I'm going to look for like terms. They're all like terms. So 1 minus 4 is minus 3. And minus 3 plus 9 is going to give you 6. RS. Remember, when you're adding and subtracting, the variable stays the same. Okay. And now we come to the bonus question. Here we are told that in the following game, the number in the left block is double. and then add it to the number in the right block to give you the number in the block above it. Okay. Find the value of 8. So in other words, the number in the left block is double. If I double negative 4, what's negative 4 times negative, or plus negative 4? Or negative 4 times 2? It's negative 8. Plus this number. So it's plus 8. Okay. So this number here is going to be negative 8 plus 8. Okay. Now, for the other number now, of course, I must double this number here. So it's 8 plus 8, or 2 times 8, it's going to be 2a plus negative 1. So this is going to be 2a minus 1. Okay. Now, again, the number in the right block must be, sorry, the left block must be double. Not so. So if I double that number, it's going to be negative 16 plus 2a plus 2a minus 1. And if I add that together, I get negative 5. Okay. So now it gives me 4a minus 17 is equal to negative 5. So minus, if I take it over the equal sign, it becomes a plus, which gives you 12. Okay. Which now gives you 4 times the number is 12, and what is the number? 3. Which makes the answer. Okay. Or you could have gone by process of elimination. If I had substituted negative 4 in here, then it would have been negative 4 is negative 8 minus 4 is negative 12. Okay, so according to that, that's negative 12. That's going to give you negative 8. Minus 1 is negative 9. If I double this and add it to that, I will never get 5. So that is not right. You just go through that process like that. You would have found out that D would have been the correct answer. I think that's the way some people did, and we got it right. Some just guessed and got it right. Okay. People, that basically brings us to the end of paper 2. Paper 1 and 2, as well as its memo, can be found in the description box below. It will take you to a link where you will find the question paper and the link to the previous paper, which is the paper 1 part of the June exam of 2023. At this point, I'm going to stop the video. Okay.